So you want to hit a nice high draw with your fairway wood, you've come to the right video, because I've got 3 things that you can do in your setup to promote that exact shot. Let's go through it. Hitting a nice high draw with a fairway wood could be probably one of the most difficult shots for golfers to hit. But we've got you down. We're going to talk a little bit about the club face, we're going to talk about our feet, and we're going to talk about our shoulders, and when we're all said and done, we're going to be hitting that shot. So let's start with the most obvious. Let's start with the club face, right? This probably goes without saying, but we got to talk about it. We've got to make sure that the club face is actually pointed at the target. Now, you might be thinking, well, oh really, Todd? I tuned into this video for that? But I'm going to tell you this, because of the way that fairway woods are designed, a lot of the golfers that I see on my lesson tee, when they set their fairway wood down, they actually rotate it a little bit open, because on a fairway wood, you'll notice the bottom of it is a little bit more rounded. Think of almost like the bottom of a boat. It's also much larger from front to back. So when you just naturally set it down, unlike an iron, it just can kind of naturally rotate and sit a little bit open. So the first thing you got to do is get the face square. How do you do that? Well, if you followed any of our stuff here in the Vertical Line Swing and VLScoaching.com and all the stuff, our book, The Bad Lie, what I like to promote is gripping it here on the side and then bringing it up to eye level, and always check the club face up here at eye level. I like to even close one of my eyes and look at it, because this way I can see if it's square or not. The minute we set it down here on the ground, it becomes a little bit more difficult to see if that club face stays square. So the first tip to get the club face squared up at address, which is the first thing in our 3-step process here, bring it up at eye level, make sure it's nice and square, and then go ahead and just bring it down from there. All right, now that we've got the club face squared up, let's get into number 2, and then we're going to talk about number 3. Number 2 is making sure that the feet, okay, are slightly close to the target line. So let's go through this. I'm going to show you why this is important. Because in order to hit a nice high draw, we've got to swing into the club a little bit from the inside. We've got to have an inside to out path with that square club face. We already got the club face squared up. I taught you that. So if my target right now is the barber pole down the line here, the green barber pole, I'm going to take this alignment rod right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of point it right at that green barber pole. So this is my nice square straight line. All right, so what I want to do is take that square club face, and I want to make sure that my feet are slightly close to the target line. Let me say that again. I want to make sure that my feet are slightly close to the target line. All right, now why would I want to do that? Well, because when my feet are slightly close to the target line, it promotes more of that inside to out swing path. Okay, so I've got the face squared up. So what you're going to do now, you're going to put your feet together. Notice how my toes are they're nice and square to that white line that I've created there. I'm going to separate, and I'm going to separate, but when I do that, you'll notice that my lead foot just went ever so slightly in front of my trail foot. So now my toes are ever so slightly closed or pointed to the right of the target line. And from this position, it's going to help me swing a little bit more from the inside. All right, so I've got 2 things I've dialed in here. Then we're going to talk about the 3rd thing and tie it together. I've got a square club face, and I become keenly aware of that because of the design of the club head. I've got my feet ever so slightly aimed to the right of the target line to help me swing more from the inside. Now the 3rd piece of the puzzle is making sure that my hips and my shoulders are also along that same line to promote the arm swinging in the right direction. So when we're set in there, we got that square club face, my feet are together, I separate and I separate. Now my toes are slightly close to the target line. The last step of the process here is I want you to take your lead shoulder and bring it ever so slightly closer to the golf ball, and that will move my trail shoulder back. So what happens is, as my lead shoulder goes this way, my trail shoulder goes back, that actually closes my shoulders just a little bit also. So when I'm completely set and done here, my feet, my hips, and my shoulders are slightly close to the target, but yet the club face is perfectly square to the target. Now, when you do that, you might look down at the club, it might look a little bit weird, like it's almost slightly closed, okay? That's okay if we're trying to hit that nice high draw. So let me go ahead and tie it together here for you. So get that club face squared up, set it down behind the golf ball, feet are together, they separate with the lead foot going ever so slightly forward. Bring the lead shoulder ever so slightly forward. Now from this position, I got a square club face, Feet, hips, and shoulders are slightly closed. All right, that's gonna help me hit that ball nice and high and turn it over just a little bit. Be sure to check out my next video right here, and if you wanna personally work with me and our golf team on your game, check out vlscoaching.com.